Alright, so today I wanted to bring up a weird thing that I feel like I don't see videos about, I can't find articles about this. It's novel apps. What is going on? I'm very confused. I get ads for them because I read a lot of like Kindle books and then it's like, oh, Facebook ads. So I figured what would be a great use of my time is to try to figure out what's going on. And I did a little bit of research and I don't know if I met that goal, but I figured, you know what, I'm gonna make a video about this. I have no idea how to structure it, so best thing to do would be just to take you through my thought process and everything that's going on, and I'll try to connect them somehow. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I am talking about these kind of ads. You see these ads like scrolling through Facebook, or at least I do. Sometimes when I click clickbait on Facebook, then these ads are advertisements on the articles I'm reading. It's very strange, and like just ads alone wouldn't be too weird, but it's like you look at it and it's like Fox Novel or Novel Fox, I honestly don't remember. And then you read a little bit of it and it's like, oh, that's super weird and concerning. And it's like, well, what the hell? And then sometimes you see the artwork and you're like, there's no way that that is the proper artwork that goes with this story for a number of reasons. And I figured, okay, first thing I'm gonna do, screenshot these, crop them so it's just the photo, and then we're gonna reverse image search. So let's do that. So I don't know that much about reverse image searching. I don't know if there's a better thing to use, but I'm using TinEye, and you can see it up on my screen here. And so what I did is I've already done a couple of these because I wanted to know what was going on. So as you can see, I have my little folder here, and you look at this and you go, oh, that's really weird. Yeah, so we'll pull that one. So I have the actual thing here, and I'm gonna upload it to reverse image search, and this is what comes up. It's a collection on DeviantArt called Premonitions, and you can already see where this is going, I'm sure. So you go here, and that, or I guess technically this, is potentially stolen artwork. With all of the sort of incriminating things removed. You can see, like, so if we click on the image here, you can see, for example, here I'm gonna sort of pull this over here. So if you look, and we're gonna zoom in more. So if you look right here, look at where this 18 plus adults only logo is, and then look at the photo. Yeah. Okay. So then look at the photo. They've like scrubbed it clean and did the best they could, but look at that, right? Then you also notice it's a lot lower quality than the original version. Huge surprise. So then if you go, let's say, oops, let's look at the top here. So as you can see, they just totally get rid of the top in that photo. There we go. Other things that become really obvious. So there's this Patreon thing at the top. Obviously that's gone as well. The thing that says, you know, original, I feel so weird. Should I be blurring this? So you have all of this stuff here, right? And then you have the bottom of the photo, and it's just all either cut off or just gone. And you can see kind of the same thing when you look here, and if we were to zoom in, you can kind of see like it's gone, right? Am I crazy? Probably. And like, oh my god, is this low quality? Like, look at that versus that, right? Like, look at that. It almost isn't the same picture with how low quality it is. Do you know what I mean? Like, you look at it and it's like she's missing eyelashes where you can like see them. Anyway, point is, really weird. So That's super concerning, like right off the bat. And I'm gonna kind of exit out of this. And I want to know if anybody's like told them that this is being stolen, right? Now, this photo, sorry, so I just want to like kind of point out all of this. I guess technically maybe they here. So like there's nothing on that photo that points to it being the right person. And like look at that skirt. Like what is happening? Oh, ha 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 ha. Okay. So I didn't even how did I not even notice this? So as you can see, they added a skirt, and I don't know how I didn't notice this before, but yeah, look, they added a skirt. They added a skirt. They were like, oh, this is inappropriate. We're just gonna add to this art. Oh yeah, we're stealing art, but you know, whatever. Allegedly stealing art. So I'm like looking through the comments, and so I believe this is Spanish that a lot of this is in, and unfortunately I do not speak Spanish, so I don't know, maybe someone's mentioning it in these comments, but so this is from like 2020, these comments. It's concerning on its own, obviously. Stealing art, very bad. Now, is it possible that whoever is running this site here, which I believe is Now Novel, but I could be wrong, is it possible that they bought the artwork and adjusted it and had permission to do all of this? Yes. Is it likely? I feel like if you're gonna go through the effort to do all of this, you would have just commissioned this person for a piece of artwork that fits better with what you're looking at, right? This doesn't scream brother is my mate to me. This just screams werewolf sexual assault. So that's concerning to me. I look at this and I go, ooh, doesn't look so super good. So let's do another one. So I'm just gonna point this one out because this one's funny. So that is the Joker, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure that's the Joker. So we're gonna next go to this one. This one's like vampires, it's eye reader. We're gonna crop this and we're gonna run it through TinEye and see what we get. I don't know why he looks so familiar. I was thinking the Joker, but I don't know if that's correct. It doesn't really matter, honestly. So we do this, we don't get any search results. I'm wondering if this part of the image, because I think it's a composition, right? Because if you look, the lighting doesn't match. So if we were just to take this image, right? And then same thing. And maybe we won't get results. Some of these I know for a fact don't turn up results. Some of the other ones I tried. But I thought it was worth, you know, checking. So then I want to do the same thing with this photo here. Now, these could very well be compositions made using perfectly legal images to make compositions out of. Tons of authors do it. It's perfectly, like, absolutely nothing wrong, right? As long as you own the rights to the photos, or you have, you know, royalty-free photos that you can be using. So this one, probably fine. At least I can't find it anywhere here, right? But also a lot of the time the composition photos show up in this search because I've done that before to see if they're royalty-free. So then, let's move to this one. We will tackle the subject matter later, but I want to see. So it comes up as having lots of results. It looks like, honestly, I'm like scared to click on most of these sites. They don't inspire tons of confidence, but as you can see, it's a photo that's in a lot of places. Very likely it's royalty free. I'm not seeing like a DeviantArt account attached or anything like that. I'm like scared to go on these sites, so we're just not going to. But okay, so that's the thing, and we're gonna come back to that one because we have to talk about something else related to that, but we're doing the images first. This is another one that I think is probably a composition. Most likely everything is royalty free. Obviously possible that it is not, but generally the compositions will be royalty free from what I've seen, because once again, why would you go to all the effort? However, I do want to just see if it comes up with anything, because, you know, well, oh, see, so here, you actually have it detecting the one photo. Once again, I don't want to click on these sites. So now we get into this one here. Now we get into some of the really concerning ones. I'm pretty sure that's a wand from Harry Potter. And this is a weird trend that I've seen a couple times. Is there any other fantasy series that has little sticks like that? Especially considering that the name of this is Beta Second Chance, which means it's going to be a werewolf thing. So I'm a little iffy about that one. When we run it through here, it doesn't have a match. The next one I'm going to show you does. Bat. Yeah, no, that what you think it is, that's what it is. When I click on the post here, oh, okay, we have this, so it doesn't actually take me to the proper one, but when I go to their archive, and this is one that I've already checked, when I go to their archive and go down quite a decent amount, and where is it? Sorry, I just have to kind of let things load because I don't remember how far down it was. Here it is. Yeah. So, I love how they have removed the watermark. As you can see, there's no watermark. Like, okay, seriously, where the watermark should be, which is right there, you have that, where it's been pretty obviously messed with. Also, once again, it's very pixelated, very obviously, like, come on. And what's interesting is I looked at all the notes, and nobody said anything about this. Like, so either nobody else has seen this ad or just nobody mentioned it or whatever, but I can almost guarantee that this person did not know their work was being used because, for one thing, their work is fan art that you're not supposed to be able to make money off of. And actually this was in a group that on Facebook that was trying to find the artist so that they could be tagged, because what the hell, Dream? This is upsetting to me, because the fact that these artists aren't being credited, the fact that the artwork is being most likely, allegedly, stolen, because look at that, and tell me that doesn't throw up every red flag. Obviously, not good. Okay, so moving on to the next one, because yes, it just gets worse. You have, sorry, this next one kind of just makes me laugh. So this one, I don't even need to reverse image search this. That's Sansa from Game of Thrones. Like, that's just a picture of Sansa from Game of Thrones. I don't, maybe that image is free to use on Shutterstock or whatever, like, don't know. I know you can also buy images on Shutterstock, once again, who knows? We've just given up, have we? Like, you are selling your work on an app, and you're just, and here's the thing, right? I don't know if the authors are aware of what's happening, because that's the other thing, we'll get to that. But I would be willing to bet that the authors do not know that the app is using potentially stolen artwork to promote their stories and the app itself. Alright, so this last one here from Fox Novel. So at first you're like, okay, is this another, and yes it is. This is another Draco Hermione fan art that got used in one of these novel things. And how can you tell beyond anything else? Well, that uniform with the little, here, I'll pull up the bigger picture. that tie and that tie. Really? We're just... So, here's the thing. This one doesn't come up when you search for it. I don't know if that means maybe the author removed it, maybe it's on a site where that TinEye hasn't scanned, I don't know. But you cannot tell me that that is not Harry Potter fan art, and as such, has nothing to do with werewolf erotica. Like, this is what we're dealing with here. Part of me, when I did find out who the artist was for a couple of these, I was like, do I block it? They don't necessarily want to be, you know, maybe have anything to do with this. But at the same time, it's like, well, I'm not gonna not credit the artist. Sorry, I didn't know if this one, because this one, who the hell knows? But I just, can we talk about this photo for a second? He's like, oh, I'm gonna tie her hands up. She's like, haha, so funny. And then I think he's motorboating her. Like, I don't know what this is. Once again, this is also werewolf related, and I don't get it. Okay, so we're gonna continue. I think I've made my point about some of this artwork being really from questionable sources. I think I've made my point. These are all the ones that I had, like, saved images of that I could find. I've been collecting images of this every time I see one for like a year, but a bunch of them are gone. So whatever, we're doing this. I feel like I've made my point. Next, I want to talk about the content of these stories, specifically the ones that are being promoted as like sponsored advertisements. Because I don't believe for a second that every single story on these sites is bad or, you know, has some non-consensual elements, but the ones they're using to promote the apps often do, and that's worrying and really gross. So, first up, let's look at this one. So, this photo with the skirt that now I've seen it, I can't unsee it. This photo. First of all, paragraphs are good. You know, every time, you know, you switch speakers, you know, maybe break it into paragraphs. Just saying. So, I don't even want to read these, but I mean, I'm just gonna leave this on the screen for you to read it because I'm not saying this out loud. And then when you, yeah, and then this is the photo you get, which the photo doesn't even, and huge surprise, photo does not even match what's going on in the scene that they're showing, because as gross and incestuous as it is consensual, and this doesn't look consensual to me. Ew. Anyway, so the next one, while we're here talking about this, so this one is just kind of upsetting to me on a couple different levels. So this person's saying, doesn't have the heart to love me. I don't remember what was before that, who cares. I wondered as I sat in Mr. Collins' physical science. I'm about 5'5" and 175 pounds, and even though I'm ugly now, even my own parents don't like taking me to pack functions because I'm not the ideal werewolf, but I plan to be beautiful someday. I give up. So she's 5'5" and 175 pounds, and yet the definitely gonna be taller than 5'5", definitely gonna be under 175 pound woman that is the promotional photo for this. Come on. Also, fuck you? This makes me angry. Honestly. Like, so obviously this is a high school student, like, in the story, and I read this and I'm like, if you're trying to make the point, right, that everybody deserves love, or, you know, you are worthy of love, even, you know, I've seen other romance novels where it's like, you know, the main heroine is, you know, perhaps overweight, or, you know, has some kind of disability, or a an ugly scar or something like that, right? At least in all the ones I read, the women are never asked to change, or even if they think, oh, maybe I'm not the prettiest, belle at the ball, it's not, oh, I'm so ugly and no one loves me and I'm fat and all of these things, and who's writing these? Okay, that's a whole other question, but like, come on, guys. So just, well, I can just sit here and be disappointed about this one, thanks. So this is one where it gets really creepy, and why do we have to talk about this? But we do. Having adopted her as a little girl, he fell in love with her after she grew up. I think that's just grooming, first of all. Second, what the fuck? And here's the worst part. I got this ad a couple times because completely different art style and everything else. Now, don't call me uncle, call me hubby. Having adopted her as a little girl, he fell in love with her after she grew up. End my suffering. What the fuck? Who? Why? Who approved this? Who thought this was acceptable? Who looked at this and was like, oh yeah, that's not problematic. I mean, not to, use a word that I feel like gets overused, and maybe, I don't know, but what the fuck? Where's my stress ball? Look, I'm like, what the fuck? Why? Who did this? OMG, who did this? So, that's concerning. But what really worries me is just the fact that this is so incredibly not what's being shot. Like, are they just picking random photos? Actually, maybe. But like, why? For what reason? Anyway, so then the next one, same thing. Werewolf, but this is just Harry Potter. They don't really have anything to do with each other. And it's not funny, but it's funny, So that's some of the content, and like things I've like noticed too, right? Is that there's a lot of abuse in a lot of these stories. There's emotional abuse, there's physical abuse, there's sexual abuse. I'm probably missing one. Like, there's just a lot of abuse, and it's really concerning. And the fact that a lot of these don't seem to have a ton of, quality control in the way of like, look, this is all one paragraph. Now, maybe when you read it, it's not all like that. Maybe this was their way of fitting as much as they could before it has to go onto the read more thing for the ad, right? That would make sense to me. It's still weird and doesn't give me a ton of like, I don't get a sense of professionalism from any of it, right? So now, I want to just point out something real quick before I go into the next little part. So while we're still talking about content, because I have to talk about this because I found these and it's just too funny to not show people. So we're gonna go to YouTube and we're going to look up Fox Novel. So we're gonna look at Fox Novel and you're like, oh my god, they have a YouTube channel, and oh my god, it's fucked. Yep. They have, in 7 months, released 84 videos, I believe. And yeah, we're gonna click on another random one. I don't even know what this is about. That didn't make sense. And like, there's just so many of these. And they're all the same. What am I looking, like, I could just go through, I could just go through these, and each of them, like, so some of them have, like, a lot of views, like, over 200,000 views, and then there's, like, 86 views, which is really weird in itself because they have 561 subscribers and the view counts are all over the place. Okay, so that took a turn that I wasn't expecting. See what I mean about the whole, like, abuse thing? Like, it's worrying. Terrifying, and I'm not a fan. One of them that I remember seeing, and I'm not gonna be able to find it because I don't care enough to go through all of these. It was like the guy was the CEO of Rovio, which, if you are not familiar with what Rovio is, if you're not familiar, Rovio is the people responsible for Angry Birds. I don't know if it was intentional, but it happened and it's funny. Can we just privately laugh that they used the term Rovio as like, he's the CEO of Rovio? I feel like I've made my point. So it's not just Fox Novel that has these, which is funny. Dream also has a YouTube channel that has significantly more subscribers. And just in case everybody was like wondering, they have Writing Academy videos, which, like, when I read the stories, I really want to watch these Writing Academy videos.
Hi guys, welcome to Dreamy Writing Academy. I am Heather Griffin, the tutor of Dreamy Writing courses. I will share 8 topics about writing during the next 2 months. The courses are going to be delivered weekly, and in every topic, I will focus on a specific writing issue, explaining some writing methods, analyzing some examples, and more importantly, summarizing some practical writing tips.
Yeah. Anyway. The problem is they've stolen artwork, so I just have no, like, don't want to listen to them. I'm not continuing with that. However, okay, so I got up to do a couple things, and when I found something, so I did find somebody on YouTube who has been talking about Dream a little bit, and I'll talk about her in a minute because there's a couple other things, but I just want to point out that in the comments somebody had something about the art being used, and I'm gonna kind of see my phone, and it's someone saying, like, okay, it says, "Hi, Dream Story. I'm the artist of this image you're using in your advertisements. This is personal artwork that I've not licensed for you to use for profit. Please remove this ad from circulation." And this is the ad in question. And everybody in the comments is pissed because obviously this is not the only time I've seen this, but there, if you wanted, like, irrefutable, like, Twitter, this is somebody's artwork, there you go. Now we have that. I'm not just using Tin Eye. So the person that I saw on YouTube that has talked about Dreamy a little bit is Julian Gray Stoke. I'm gonna put a link to the specific video that I'm thinking of, that I watched, because I just want to be really clear about who we're giving credit to. That's really important. Something I've kind of figured out from reading and listening to a couple things, it does sound like a lot of these apps are paying their writers. Now, how much they're being paid, if it's a fair compensation, don't know. Also, I mean, I wouldn't want to work for a company that's stealing images, allegedly, or is, you know, perhaps using artwork that is not theirs. And I realized, I didn't say this before, but, like, you know, absolutely zero, like, shade or anything like that if you're one of the writers on these sites. Like, there's no ill will here. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of what is going on, at least kind of. And to me, the biggest thing was the artwork being, you know, when you reverse image search, it goes to people's DeviantArt accounts. Like, to me, that's an issue. But, you know, I mean, once again, I don't know if the authors even know about this or anything like that. You know, nothing against you, nothing against your writing. It is concerning to me. So we have covered the content of these stories. I could go more in depth, but I don't really want to be like throwing a lot of, shade at these authors or anything like that. That's not what I'm here to do. I don't want to tell people what they should and shouldn't write. It's nothing to do with that. I just want it to be known that when you go looking for these, the things that they are advertising are like that is what is being advertised here. Whether or not that accurately reflects the novels themselves, I don't know, but I wanted that to be really, really clear. Although the one about the guy like adopting a child and then falling in love with her later, no, that is weird. Sorry. Like, write what you want. Everybody, has the right to do that, but oh boy, that's weird. Like, whose fantasy is that? Anyway, so the last thing I want to talk about quick is actually how weird these apps are themselves. First of all, so I downloaded a bunch of the apps, and this is one of the, I hadn't even been reading this story, like I just downloaded the app, and this was one of the notifications I got. Creeped out that I got this, and who knows who could have been holding my phone at the time. That is strange. So just to like kind of, I have a lot of these on my phone and I'm not planning to go through all of them, but for example, I have the Dreamy app on my phone. It's asking me to like make and manage phone calls, which like, no, I don't want to sign in because I don't want anything of my information tied to this, more so than, the fact that I downloaded it on my phone. And like, okay, so the top genres are romance, paranormal, and steamy stories. Not surprising. If I just go to like the Discover, so I'm gonna click the very top like one that's called Making Her Mine, and it has 90 episodes. Yeah, I'm not even sure. I can't read this. It's just weird. And here's the thing too, right? Something I've noticed as I like check through these apps is the fact that some of these stories, a couple of them have like 2 million words written for these stories, and the chapters are really short, and you like pay however many things per chapter to unlock the next chapter. And when you total up the amount of money you've spent on a lot of these, it ends up being way more than you would spend on even like a traditionally published, like in where I live, like $30 hardback, $40 hardback novel, which is really weird to me because, I am all for writers getting paid. The fact that so many people that write as their full-time job and are successful by metrics of like sales still don't earn enough to like live off of is really concerning to me. That being said, shortening your chapters and then just charging seems like a really iffy business model, and also just really iffy. Yeah, and like, so I keep clicking on these, and I want to say that nothing wrong with a lot of these stories. They're well written, they're interesting, they're not abusive, the authors seem great. It's a fun way for you to make a bit of cash. I'm not against it. I'm just, when I look at a lot of these and I look at the artwork and I look at the things and the stories they're using to promote the actual app, it seems very uncomfortable, bad business practice, I don't know what you want to call it, but it's very odd. I don't know, maybe this is like trying to capitalize off of like Wattpad's success, which actually would make sense because from what I've heard, a bunch of authors for these sites are found through things like Wattpad. Once again, not actually an issue. I am a little bit concerned about how they market, if nothing else. I don't know, like I'll say it, and like I said, you can write whatever you want, but some of these stories, like, really? Like, that's what you're gonna advertise? Like, have it on your site, by all means, I don't care, but that's what you're advertising. And the other thing, we're gonna just talk about this super quick. I've already kind of mentioned it. The amount of sexual assault and abuse, but like the sexual assault is a thing, is concerning. And I don't know, it's books, they're, fictional, it's fine, but it's kind of not. I don't know. Obviously, I don't want to like tell people what they should or shouldn't write or read or anything like that, but really think about the media you consume. And even if you think, no, I know it's wrong, I know that it's not okay to be, grabbed and forced into something, like, really think about the media you consume and how it could potentially affect you. Because this stuff sticks with you. The media you consume sticks with you, and whether or not it influences your behavior or actions is debatable. It's still there, and the fact that a lot of these seem to be, at least a large amount of them, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, a lot of the readers and a lot of the writers seem to be young women. There, I said it. A lot of it seems to be young women, which to me is a little concerning, but that's a whole nother thing, and we're gonna leave it. And you can make your own choices, and I'm telling you what I've found, what I think, and that's it. Alright, I hope you enjoyed.